Hello! Today I have some pretty interesting things to show you. So recently, Dinnerbone reached out to the community regarding the upcoming 1.9 combat update. He asked, if you could change anything about Minecraft combat, what would it be? Now, I have a lot of answers to that question because I think there are tons and tons and tons of things you could change about Minecraft combat. But what I think is lacking quite heavily is weapon variety. So today, I'm going to show you a few ideas I had for potential weapons that could be introduced into Minecraft. We're going to start off with the spear or the javelin. This has been requested a lot over the years, and I think it has a high potential of being added just because of that. So a spear is just a big long stick with a pointy end, but you probably already know that. And the way I envision this is basically a spear could act very much like a sword, except it could perhaps deal a little bit less damage, but it could maybe have a longer reach. But that's not quite interesting enough for a new weapon, you know. So I was thinking, okay, so instead of just doing that, it could also double as a mid-range projectile, like so. But it has a little bit of a difference than something like an arrow, and that is it can impale multiple entities. Let's watch it again. So I thought that would be quite an interesting and unique attack if you could hurt multiple entities at the same time. And I was thinking you could have a spear enchantment or something that maybe increases the amount of entities you could damage with one spear. My second idea is for dynamite, and I was trying to think of stuff that made sense in the Minecraft universe, and I think dynamite makes complete sense given the presence of TNT. So dynamite would be, again, a projectile which can cause quick explosion damage. So you throw it, and after a few moments it would explode and cause an explosion damage. Now the reason I think dynamite would make sense and is needed is because TNT in a fight, in a fast-paced fight, doesn't really work very well. You can place it down, you can light it, but it's too slow. You know, in the 4 or 5 seconds it takes to explode, the situation has completely changed, and a lot of the time it is just completely ineffective. So I feel if we had a fast-paced, explosive type weapon that could be fired in quick succession, like some dynamite, I think that would definitely spice battles up. Following that same train of thought, if we have dynamite, why not sticky dynamite? Something I think that Minecraft is sorely lacking is a covert weapon, and sticky dynamite would act very differently from regular dynamite. So it would actually act more as a bomb rather than a fast-paced projectile. So the way it would work is you have your sticky dynamite and you approach your enemy and you would secretly, or you try to secretly, place it somewhere in their body. Then a cooldown timer begins, counting down, or a cool up timer maybe would make more sense, until it becomes active. So once it's active, you could actually have a dedicated key. Maybe we could press the M button, and once you press the M button, the sticky dynamite will explode. Now, I was thinking, alright, so if someone has a sticky dynamite on them, they could perhaps have a subtle warning, maybe like a small noise or a slight indication on the screen that they have got one of these things attached to them. And if they spot that before the other person decides to detonate it, they can again press the M key themselves and maybe take it off and use it later if they want to. My fourth and final idea was a little bit tricky to come up with. I thought what would be cool is if we had a long-ranged weapon which was able to deal constant and instant damage to players far, far away. You know, something like a laser beam, but that doesn't make sense in Minecraft. Or does it? You'll have already noticed the design of this weapon, which I'm calling the Guardian Lens. So what if we were able to harness the power of the Guardian? This could perhaps be a rare drop from Guardians, or maybe even Elder Guardians, and it would basically act as kind of like this lens, which you could harness their power and zap things. But then I was thinking, okay, that probably would be quite overpowered if you were able to just instantly start damaging someone from far away. So I was thinking, what if this was kind of like a higher tier weapon? And that got me thinking, what could we use to like power this? What could we use as like a projectile? And I was thinking, I know, what if we used XP? Because XP, you know, once you're in endgame, XP is pretty much meaningless. You have an ender farm, and you can get 30 levels in a few seconds. So what if you had one of these weapons that drained your XP as you used it? This means that you couldn't just jump into a fight without having to prepare for it, and it would pretty much just be an end game thing. But these were just a few of my ideas. What would you change in Minecraft in the combat update? Let me know down in the comments. But if you enjoyed this video, a like is always appreciated. Subscribe if you're not already. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.